Gundam.tk presents Master Grade Age-1 Sparrow. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs2Bs from Gundam Reviews.net. As First Grade Exia says hi, hasn't been here for a while. But the blue is gonna fit because I'm wrapping up my review of the Master Grade Age-1 Sparrow or Spallow. Anyway, he's had some interesting pros and cons along the way, so let's get right to those so that you can make your own call on this kit. So as he heads out for a dangerous jog, at least it's not a pair of scissors, I suppose. Let's get into the biggest negative for me. First of all, the price of 3,500 yen is just going to seem a little bit off-putting, and the reason is, we've seen similar prices where you're going to be getting big backpacks, big weapons, big guns, all sorts of cool stuff. And with this guy, you're going to be getting a knife, and limbs, and yeah, exchangeable fingers, things like that. Anyway, it just doesn't seem that between all these little extras that I've got in this plastic bag there and what you're getting right in front of you, yeah, there's nothing else to this guy. So 3,500 compared to what you're getting with the normal with his shield and weapons and the Titus with the effect parts, etc., this guy just seems a little bit dull. And that sort of really came across when I put together just the new plates and I just said, yeah, there's really not much to this. I've seen high grades, I mean, that have more plastic to them than that. Anyway, there's still lots of other pluses though. One thing that's a little bit disappointing though is that I was really keen on the fact that they're going to give you this black to go along with the gray. If you take a look at the high grade, he's just got gray all over his body here, whereas with the master grade they added a whole color variation, which is always appreciated. And then I saw the way they did it and it just seems like it could be a little bit more. The gray is only going to be for the joints and the black is pretty much going to be everywhere else, but it would have just seemed to be fun in my eyes if they had done something real grade style where we would have had the gray and the black sort of swapping in and off the same way we've had the multicolors of white, if I can say it that way, and the different shades of gray, etc. all over the place. It would have been a lot more fun. In terms of some of the joints, well, first of all, the ankles are going to be problematic. You can see that when he's going to stand up, just the fact that he's got such little surface area and there's not really much you can do with it. If you pop out the heel, I thought that was going to be a little bit of a bonus, that you could get a little bit of extra length and he'd be able to stand up better. Doesn't seem to really be the case, and the part can just go falling off. Anyway, with these skinny ankles, Ariel is probably going to have to be your friend. Another big issue though is just the fact that these shoulders are just a little bit stiff. They're not going to be able to move in the ways that you want them to. Coming out of the shoulder is no problem, but those gray parts on either side, I've had nothing but difficulties with them, and when you combine that with the fact that the limbs on this guy have probably fallen off, yes, I've been trying more awkward poses with him than probably with any other Gundam. But anyway, you may be able to see over here that the forearm is separating and the shoulders, these are going to pop off. I've had the legs pop off a number of times. These blue hips, I don't even want to talk about them because they've come off 25 times and I've just left them off. There's really nothing worth doing with those. You can probably pop some glue on there and they'd be able to stay on. So anyway, quite a few negatives here that also sort of just get combined with the overall simplicity of this guy. High price, it seems, for what we're getting in terms of the plastic. And also just in terms of the lining and the colors all over the place, this guy really does sometimes look like more of a 1/100th non-grade, and you'd think a price of 2,200 or something like that might be in order when you consider sort of the fact that he doesn't have a completely awesome inner frame like some of the ones we've gotten used to. Seriously, you just try to move it and this is gonna happen. But is it all negative for the bane of waterfowl everywhere? Well, the answer is certainly no. There's tons of good things with this, so let me just start going through them right away. First of all, putting the H1 together, I've already mentioned the plates, that these ones just felt like there wasn't quite enough. But then again, the other 6 plates, A to F, that I've already put together 2 times for the other H1 Master Grades, yeah, I never get tired of them. They're just so well designed. The chest design with that cockpit, everything about them is just a lot of fun, not repetitive whatsoever. Also, it is a great thing that the fact that you're going to be getting a whole extra color wrap in the form of that black plate. One single thing can just show off on the feet, the forearms, and on the legs. And it really does just add a little bit more complexity to this than you'd see on something like the high grade and certainly on the advanced grade, that's for sure. In terms of the clear green parts, yeah, this is going to be a lot better. Yes, Master Grade, or we used to get 00 kits without clear green parts. Seeing this one especially, it just seems to be a little bit oversized, which is just going to be good in terms of proportions to make it stand out, considering that it is his only weapon, and it is a little bit fun. It's going to attach onto the back, no problems there whatsoever, and I'm actually a fan of the fact that you've actually got the white and the gray and the white and the green, so you've just got a little bit more colors and just a little bit of variation. Something else that I'm a huge fan of, and something that I probably thought I'd never use though, is just the fact that you're getting these extra flit asunos to go along with urine. And anyway, the combination of these two of them, you can tell the story. The Sparrow versus the Zetus is certainly probably, well, I wonder if it's going to go down in Gundam Legend, but it was certainly a key part of that first generation's climax, and anyway, it's led to the whole tone of the rest of the series with Flit and the way that he feels. Anyway, the fact that you can recreate it with those little tiny figures, especially if you wanted to paint them up, is cool, and you're going to get the bonus of having the other ones. So if you haven't built the normal or the Titus, you can have your choice, and if you have built them all, well, you can choose different ones to put them in. Throw them up on the cockpit because it's got that great hatch. And anyway, this is probably one of the only times that I care about getting these. So in terms of some of the other bonuses out there, I'm a big fan of this waist section. For whatever reason, it just seems like these blue ones, you're not going to be impeded in the front with anything with the front skirts, and they're just because you're going to try more dynamic poses with this guy. The fact that you've got a waist skirt that's going to get out of the way, and these blue ones, even if they're off flailing to the side, they're not going to look bad and they're not going to look out of place. The thrusters on the back of the legs are good. I like the 135 bends there. And on the forearms, the fact that you can rotate the forearms ever so slightly and open those up, they do feel like they've got a substantial thing. They're not going to feel cheap and loose at all when you put them together. It's also just fun to put that together and see the engineering that goes into it. And when you combine that with the needle knees, everything about this guy in terms of the extras, yes, he's only got the one weapon, but the fact that he's got a bonus built into there and a bonus built into there, to go along with the fact that the shoulders are really going to look fantastic, I have to say, for this guy. Yes, they are going to be a little bit stiff, but the fact that you've already got that amazing Age-1 pop-out system there, which is going to allow them to go up and down, forward and back, and just bend them all the way back, and then you've got the fact that you can move these blue parts there, independent of the gray shoulders underneath. Move the gray shoulders, and if you want, you can keep the blue parts down, open up these white hatches here, and then bring the arm out. Basically, this guy, when he's going to stand there at attention looking straight out on at you, he's going to look really, really dull, but at any other pose, the shoulders are going to widen, and that's just going to make him look all that more dynamic. And one other huge bonus, as I get to the light here, is that you may have already seen my fondue dipped high-grade Sparrow, where basically I just had some fluorescent green ink and I just dipped the white blade into it. But with this guy, first of all, because he doesn't have that much white on his body, he's not going to light up too much, but instead you're just going to get the bonus of that chest lighting up and the Shigeru blade. Now, something else that's a bonus is if you already saw my video of the blacklight of the Age-1 normal, the chest for the Titus, the Sparrow, and the Age-1, there are no seals that can cover it up. In this case, I did cover up the face, but if you saw it there, you're going to be getting the glowing A, the trademark of Age, to go along with the weapon, so it's just another plus, because something like the HGFC Shining, where you have the disappointment of the green, clear green effect parts doing nothing, this one, no disappointment here. So now for the verdict, well, you know it and I know it, and the wink of the gun from the Sparrow shows that he knows it too. Of course, I'm going to say that as a lead Gundam, I'm pretty happy with this guy. Yeah, there's a bunch of problems in terms of he seems overpriced, and the black is a little dull, and the hips are going to drive me crazy, and the limbs are going to fall off. But one of the main reasons that's going to happen is just because of the most simple criteria, and that this guy is fun to pose. Now, for those of you who have seen my videos, you know that I'm very unimaginative when it comes to posing my guys. Most of them are just sitting on the shelf in a boring way. But this Sparrow, he just has so much to him that all of a sudden he's going to be fun, and even if you have him meditating yoga style up on an action-based one, it just seems like fun because of the bonuses of getting those 4 different fingers that you can swap off all over the place, opening up the shoulders, and more importantly, he was all about speed in the anime, and this captures that power, much to Dezel's chagrin. So I would say, despite its problems, for 3,500 yen, I'm still going to be quite happy to have this, but that's as a lead collector, so why don't you let me know what you think of this compared to any other MG of this price. So in terms of future speculation, is there any to be had? I mean, we've already got most of the grades that you'd expect out of a kit like this. No 1/60th on the horizon. We've only got the 1/60th of the Age-1 and the Age-2. No word on the Age-3 yet there. So the odds of us going back and getting a Sparrow or a Titus seems pretty slim. So the AG, HG, MG, and the GB, I suppose, may be the extent of it. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with the AG, I'm happy with the HG, and I'm happy with the MG as well. And I'm really happy to have this combo of the 3 going together. It really does make me want to think about the strikes and the impulses and all those other triplets and put them all together. But anyway, Age is certainly going to be all about the 3s, or so it seems. Can't wait to see the Age-2 anyway, if there's going to be one more. But having these 3 on the shelf, I'm only going to count them as one lead in my books, but having the variants, hey, that's just me, and it's a fantastic thing to have as a part of my collection, and if you're a fan of the same things I am, then I think you may enjoy this too. Anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know what you think, and as always, I'd love to hear your agreements and disagreements with parts of this verdict so that people can get more than one opinion, And as always, stay tuned for lots more reviews, AGs, HGs, MGs, 148ths, and everything in between. See you next time, everybody. Bye. Seriously, 9 of these guys by the time things are all said and done? Never mind the MSVs and who else knows what else they're going to be throwing at us. Hey, what's up again, everybody? Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs here with a wrap up my review of Master Grade Dalsum. Yikes. I really don't like the looks of this.